Good morning. Hey, Facebook, and hey, YouTube. What's good? What's good this morning? What's good with y'all? Okay, today is a beautiful spring day and the best day for me to talk about plants, show the plants, and tell you what I'm up to. Some of y'all ain't interested in that part of my life, and therefore, goodbye. I don't like being boxed in, and this is what I'm into. I started the plant thing because I was following Dr. Sebi. I deal with a chronic illness, and just looking for ways to change my life for the better. I stumbled on Sebi and became convinced that he is right and that we should be eating stuff, primarily stuff that is alive. I mean, just think about it. It's much harder to, catch an animal, but we have convinced ourselves that we can't live without meat, and meat goes, it ain't a meal unless meat is on a plate, and that's just not true. I have plenty of meals that is zero meat. I mean, mostly now at this point, after 3 years into it, I just meat in the streets, and usually that's just because I'll be, if I'm in the streets, I'm gonna be too tired to cook when I get home, and you can't really preserve fresh food. So, speaking of fresh food and not being able to preserve it, here I am. I'm out here now. I discovered how beautiful today is. Ooh, just froze to the wall. Here is my fresh food rotted, or peelings and whatnot. And what I'm going to do is take it out to my compost pile. And while I'm out here soaking in this beautiful day, I hope y'all know the sun is so important. And us here in these colder climates, we suffer. We suffer because of less sun. It's a higher suicide rate, depression, and all that good stuff. No, terrible stuff. All that stuff has a lot to do with not having a lot of sun. So today is a sunny day. You wouldn't believe that just yesterday this yard was covered in snow. It has since melted, so I'm coming out here to do damage control, so buckets of stagnant water like that won't be hanging around to help a whole bunch of gnats or mosquitoes get started. Anyway, I haven't been out in this yard in a while, but I wanted to assess things out here, see what's happening. I'm gonna flip the camera. And you can see, my little garden. It's my outdoor garden, but I've been growing hey Darius Brooks, I've been growing outdoors for the past 3 years. So I'm just assessing things and seeing how it worked out so far. To me, this is second year with the wood chips. The wood chips is by far the best method of keeping down weeds. Wow, y'all, I am really shocked that I'm still seeing green here for the oregano, which is learning me something. This is teaching me that oregano will last through the winter. I left this out here as a test experiment. So I see a lot of green still in there. So this oregano survived the winter, which is pretty cool to find out. I'll be doing some more maintenance out here. But right now we're gonna take care of this food scraps. And see, this is my onion. This is another plant that lasted through the whole winter. So onions don't mind the cold. Y'all know a train always have to make its appearance in my videos. But I'm gonna give it a few seconds. Seconds to pass by so I can talk like a normal person, not yell. So how you doing this morning, Darius? Ooh wee, this is a long one. Anyway, let me go on to the compost pile. Then I'll come back and explain some of this stuff. We've been brainwashed so badly to believe that everything should be packaged in plastic. I'm glad New York passed a law actually banning plastic bags because it is such a waste and terrible thing that we do to the earth. And it's all for convenience. Not really helping us. But anyway, this is what I do with my food scraps. I don't throw it away. I throw it in the compost pile. And eventually that's going to decompose and turn into wonderful plant food for more plants. We have just become such a wasteful society. And that bugs me. You know, everything is disposable. You know, we don't reuse anything. And so that's what made me start with the method of growing that I do, because it's reusing stuff that normally would be thrown away. So now I'm gonna talk about my mint over here. Here is my yard where I got tons and tons and tons and tons of mint. And you can see some of the leaves sprouting in there. But one of the things that I like about this location is that pine tree right there drops down the red pine needles and protect this little spot so it don't get overrun with weeds. See all that section right there, unless I have a strong man to come and help me maintain that, it gets overloaded with weeds. It's a whole jungle over there. I want to I want to cut it off at the pass, get out here with my son or grandson maybe, and get all this stuff chopped down before it starts to grow back, because I hate all of that. It's tearing up my fence and whatnot, and that's on my nerve. But anyway, today I'm going to be showing y'all how I'm going to start some new plants indoors. So it's nice to have a yard, but I wanted to keep those encouraged who don't have a yard and show them that you don't have to have a yard to grow. What you have to have is the willingness to learn. Okay, so I'm gonna go on in here. This is my back door here. This is a long string. Messing up my video. Alright, so coming on back in here in my house and show y'all. Whoops, I got something stuck in the door, keeping me from fitting in. What is that? Helper! I don't know what that is behind my door. Oh. Here we go. Here we go. I got it. Here we go, here we go, here we go. All right, you guys. Here's my grow room. I got my food forest over there going with basil, oregano, chives, spearmint, growing abundantly. And this is the right time. It's excuse me, let me catch my breath. Oh. I apologize for being out of breath. But in here, I'm going to show you how I'm going to start my potatoes and the little process or method to begin getting them growing. Okay, down here, you can see, here's a bucket where I pour some old oregano. This is, I was supposed to be using this to replant and make more oregano. It never got around to it. And I'm sorry about that. If I had been so lazy, this could have just been dried oregano, and I still could have been using it in cooking. But anyway, I'm just going to throw it in that compost pile that you just see me come out of. And what I'm going to do is get these potatoes started. And I got things set up over here to where I'm going to be doing a time-lapse video. You see that? That's my Gear 360 I was given or gifted. And it does time-lapse video recording. And my goal is to record these potatoes time-lapsed. Okay? Now, the process, I'm going to set the camera up here so I can use my hands. Okay. All right. Okay, so this is my little potato section. Turn a little bit more right here. And here you can see where this potato has already started sprouting. Now people would normally, they wouldn't even eat that. They would throw that away, thinking that, oh, it's too old. No, it's not too old. It's still life. Plenty of life in this plant, in this potato. And this is proof of it. It's ready to grow. Then I also, you can see potatoes I had from last year that rotted, but that's not really rotted food. That's actually plant food that will feed my plants, my potatoes, with this new growth. And this is the right time of the year to get them going. Okay, so hold on a second while I remove my jacket, because now I'm sweating. Just came from out of that cold. Now, some people cut these up, you know, cut it up and split it into two. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to plant this potato whole, and I'm also going to join it up with some more, because these have been sitting cool in the dark, and they all have sprouted. So you see, that's showing me that this is a strong plant and ready to grow. So I'm going to be putting all of these in soil today to grow. All right. And the first step that I want to do is to mix some soil. I got soil over there. In that black bag right there. Okay, that's the soil that I used from last year, and I'm just going to revitalize this soil. And the way that I'm going to revitalize it is that I'm going to add worm castings, earthworm castings, and rock dust. So that's adding some nutrients and minerals to the soil to help these grow, because what potatoes don't like is soggy soil. So I'm only using peat moss, and I'm going to add these worm castings. I'm going to add these worm castings to that soil right there. Well, actually, I'm going to put it in this container first. Now I'm using the same soil that I used for the potatoes last year, but I'm going to add these worm castings. I'm going to add a little bit, about a half a cup to this soil, which is actually peat moss, and I'm going to add a little bit of rock dust. And that's pretty much all I do with all my plants. That's actually too much. More came out than I planned. So about a tablespoon of rock dust. Okay, I'm going to move these out the way now. And I'm going to mix this. I'm going to mix this soil. That's the peat moss and the worm castings. Can y'all see that? Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna mix that up thoroughly. And my next step, is I'm going to cover these all up completely with the newly mixed soil and rock dust and worm castings. So here we go. And so I got a lot of potato starch that's growing good, and I want to net me a whole new crop of potatoes. So I'm covering that up. So I got the potatoes now completely covered. And you can see my 360 camera. See that one? This is my 360 camera. I'm gonna set it for time lapse, and I'm gonna record this growing, this whole growth. Now that I got the soil in there, I'm gonna roll up the cover. I'm using cloth bags to grow in. This soil kind of hard from sitting here all season. So I'm definitely going to add water to it. And I'm going to add some more peat moss. Because potatoes, they do not like soggy, wet soil, so that's not a good thing. So I'm going to be using mostly peat moss. And I mixed it so it have plenty of nutrients and get off to a good start. Now that I have, hey, Kendarian Brown, you caught me gardening, and I'm getting my potatoes started. And now I'm gonna give it a thorough watering, and in a few days you'll see the magic happening. Okay, so that's the potatoes, and I'm going to be time-lapse recording it with this 360 camera. Now I'm going to go back into the kitchen. I'm going to go back into the kitchen, and then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with my oregano. Okay, here we go. Switch on the phone. Okay. Yeah. All right.
What you doing?
I just showed my audience how I'm planting potatoes, and I'm getting ready to go in the kitchen. I'm getting ready to go in the kitchen and redo my oregano. Okay, I did the potatoes. And now I'm going to do my oregano. Now, what's happening with my oregano, is I had a couple containers in my window in the living room where that gets a lot of southern sun and the best sun. So one plant grew more abundantly than the other two. So I want the two small ones. I'm gonna put that back into the windowsill on the south one, and this one where it's growing abundantly, I'm gonna repot it in my pop bottle planter. And here's an example of one oregano plant that's growing great. What I'm gonna use is a new one and repot this oregano into that. Okay. So here we go. All right, so I've already created the pop bottle planter, which is basically just cutting a soda bottle in half, like that. Then you put holes on the nose part of the bottom, and you add water and soil. So I'm gonna get the wick. Now, this is the oregano that's abundantly grown. I want to transfer it over into this pot. I thought I had some wick cut already, but I guess not. Oh, I just misplaced them. Anyway, I'm going to cut a strip. I must cut a strip to use as the wick. You can use shoestrings or even food string. You know, the string you use for turkeys to tie, tie the legs up, or rotisserie chicken. You can use that as a wick. So this is a wick, and I'm going to tie a knot in here because I have a tendency to spill the soil into all around. So I'm putting a little knot in there so to help hold the soil in there. Okay. Now I'm going to add water to the bottom. Okay, so I added water to the bottom of this. That's as high as you need it to go. And as long as the wick reaches the bottom, you're good. Okay, now, since I have added net nicks to keep the nets down, I want to shake that out off the top. And I'm going to reuse that. But what I got left is a very healthy oregano plant growing abundantly. Now I'm going to add potting mix, which I have down here underneath this camera. Okay, so now I'm going to add the potting mix to this. And then I'm going to put my fingers over the top of this plant and then turn it upside down and squeeze it out. So you get it all one piece like that. And now it's going to be very happy that I'm giving it some more room to grow. So I'm going to break it up a little bit. And now I'm going to add some more of the potting soil to this. And you want to keep it at the same level that it was growing, so it won't think that you moved it. So you want to keep it even with the top level the way that it was growing. Okay. So now I've added the soil, so I'm gonna give it a good watering. Give it a good watering on the top. Then I'm going to reuse the net mix because I don't want the nets to come along. Now that spring is trying to get here, we don't want the nets coming here thinking they can can make this a home. Because now you messing with my food. Okay, now I got it repotted and I'm getting ready to take it back to my food forest. Okay. Now it's going to join the rest of them back here. Back here. So now I have added a new plant to this collection, and the last thing I want to do on today for this plant life the last thing I want to do today for the plant life is I forgot what I was gonna say, y'all. I just forgot that quick. Maybe I gotta go in the other room so I can remember. Anyway, now I'm gonna try to get a good picture of all the plants. Turn this camera around. Okay, there we go. I've been wanting to get a picture while it's sunny, while the sun is shining bright, and you can see all the green stuff that's growing. Okay. Now I'm going to switch this back around, and I totally plumb forgot about what I was going to say in addition to this. So let me go back in the kitchen. What was I going to do? Oh. Yeah, now that one oregano plant that I put in there to grow, I gave it more room because it's growing abundantly. But these two, oops, okay, but these two plants right here is not as abundant as the other plant that I just replanted. So what I'm going to do is put it in a container and put it in my windowsill where it gets more sun to help it grow more. I think that's the problem with these, because they was in the back and not getting as much sun. Now, because I want my plants in the back to grow too, and it's still not quite enough sun coming in, I'm getting ready to set up my light in there. That's the other thing I wanted to talk about. Now, I got a set of grow lights right here. Let me turn on my kitchen light so you can see. Now, this is a set of grow lights that I got off of Amazon. And I want to keep the plants growing good and abundantly back there on the back porch, but we're not getting enough sun in quite yet. So I purchased these grow lights from Amazon to help the plants in the back thrive a little bit better, because it's still technically not getting enough light back there. The mint do fine with that low light, but I definitely think oregano is a plant that needs a lot more light. It showed that it could survive the winter. As I showed you at the beginning of this video, it definitely stayed living through the winter. So I'm going to take this light back to the back, and I'm going to put these smaller oregano plants in a rotisserie pan. Now this is another way that I repurpose things. This is from rotisserie chicken or hot wings or whatever. If y'all ever see those pans, this is what it is, a rotisserie pan. And I love using that, repurposing items that I use to grow. You don't have to go out and spend a whole lot of money. And in fact, this grow light I caught it on sale. It was only $10 on sale. So I'm putting these oreganos back in this tray, and this rotisserie pan is going to act as a drain tray. So I'm going to water them. And what I like about it is that you can easily put water in the bottom of this tray, and it won't, the plant won't be susceptible to root rot, because it has the grooves underneath that keep the roots from just sitting there passively. Now I'm gonna take this back to the grow room, and the last thing I'm gonna talk about is my cabbage. I want y'all to see that, how beautiful they look. So here we go, back. Now I'm gonna put these oregano in here where it's way more sun, so they could get their life going too. Okay, right here. Now we're going to the back to install this light. Now I'm doing this because I want to add more additional plants back here, but it's not enough light coming in to keep them healthy and strong. Plants do need light. Those are the two things they need most, light and water. So I'm going to install this light. As you can see, I got an outlet up there where I can plug it into, and this light actually has a timer on it, so it will work for medicinal plants where it has a set, where your plant, like cannabis plants, have a set fruiting and vegetation stage. You can set this light to come on every 12 hours and shut off, or 9 hours, or 3 hours. You got 3 options there. See that? And so I'm gonna plug this in right now so you can see it work. See that? Now this light has the reds and blues that plants need. And because I want these to grow as abundantly as the ones that's growing in the window back there in my living room from the south, I'm going to give these plants in here a little help with artificial light. So I'm going to use this. This one has a clamp. This is what I like about it. I could just clamp this on right here. It's not permanent. Oh boy, I'm losing the connection on Facebook. Okay, there we go. Okay, this is what I like about these lights. It's not permanent, and I can just clamp it on. So I'm clamping it on here on my greenhouse, and I've spread it out so all these plants can get some shine. Okay, so now you can see that grow light. You'll be able to see it better at night as far as the artificial light, but that's what I'm going to use, and we're going to see. We are going to see if it helps these plants grow. Now, the last plant I want to talk about is my cabbage. Now, I've been watching them grow so beautifully, and in the midst of that, I'll be making mistakes too. So one thing, once they root, once your plants, your cabbage stumps root, you really should be planting them in the soil. Me, I get carried away. And I just be watching them grow and forget all about replanting them. I don't want to get no copyright strike.
That's why I paused it.
Okay. I'm changing it back to the song that was on, what I know won't get me a strike. and I don't need it paused. Okay, now I'm gonna redo this tripod. And turn the camera around so you can see my cabbage. Okay, y'all see that? All right, let me get the last one. Now all of these are being grown from the stump. Okay? That's right. I took a stump of cabbage that I eat and grew more cabbage leaves from the stump. This is further proof that plants are living things. So yes. This right here, this cabbage right here, you can cut off the stump, put it in water, and get that. Now I'm ready to give all of these cabbage plants a separate pot to live in. And plus I want it to continue to reside on the windowsill. So I got these planters from Amazon online. And so what I'm going to do is put each one of these cabbages in a separate pot so they could continue to grow. Plus also get it out this water, because they will thrive for a while, but eventually they will start, you will start to see root rot. So those ones that's turning brown, that's not a good thing. So I want to rescue them now and get them going in the soil. They still alive, and I'm gonna get them going in the soil so that they can keep on growing big and beautiful. Alright, so y'all, let me get the potting mix. Okay, you see, now these are my pots that I'm going to put them in. I'm going to transfer these cabbage plants into, okay? Alright, let me get my potting soil. Okay, here go my potting soil. And I've added earthworms and rock dust to it. Earthworm castings and rock dust. Because I used this potting soil last year, I want to repurpose it, reuse it, so I added nutrition to it. So let me mix that up. Now this been sitting in my grow room all winter, so it's kind of hard. I want to break it up. So this is like tilling the ground, except I ain't got no mule. It's just my hand and trowel. Now, I'm also gonna mix some new garden soil in there. Hold on a second. So I got me a bag of new garden soil to mix with that. And I'd prefer to do this on the back porch, but my kitchen has the most light. So I'm gonna cut this bag open. Can't be scared to get your hands dirty when it comes to growing. That's definitely gonna happen. So I got some fresh garden soil, mixing it with the old from last year, and revitalizing it with worm castings. I'm revitalizing it with worm castings and rock dust. That's earthworm castings, which you can get online from Amazon, and rock dust, azomite, rock dust. So now I'm gonna mix that up. With the old soil. And what I like about these planters that I'm getting ready to put the cabbage in is that they can sit on the windowsill. And cabbage doesn't need a lot of sun. As you can see how big and beautiful those leaves are. That lack of sun ain't hurting them at all. But now we want them to get out of that water. because the roots do need to have air. As it's growing, it has a need for air. So I'm mixing this garden soil with the potting soil that has perlite in it, and that's gonna give it breathing room. The little white spots you see in there, the white flecks, that's the garden, that's the perlite. Okay, so now I'm thoroughly mixing this, and I'm looking and seeing that I gotta drain this soil a little bit. And what I mean by draining is I see a lot of rocks and sticks, and I don't want that in these pots because these two pots are too small for all of that. So I'm gonna get the sticks out, and then mix the rest with my hand. I also have eggshells and other rotting food matter in here. So it's these cabbage plants are about to get a new home with plenty of nutrition to keep them going. So I'm mixing this real good. Put some more garden soil in here. Yep, this is a messy job. Somebody got to do it though. But from the mess comes great, beautiful things like that. And I just love the cabbage plant because it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. The colors are so pretty. Now, I want to go ahead as they get bigger and move them outside once we don't have any more snow falling. But my problem is I got to deal with Mr. Bunny Rabbit. I don't have a fence. So, I don't know how I'm going to solve that problem, but I enjoy growing this cabbage now indoors. So all of you who keep saying I ain't got no yard, you can get started with growing indoors in your windowsill. If you got one sunny window, that's all you need. And if you don't have a sunny window, then you can buy light, artificial light, like I showed y'all what I'm using in the back, because it's not as much light coming in there. It's just the morning light. It gets the morning light. It's shaded the rest of the day, so I put the light in there so it can have light for a longer period. Okay, so now I got this good and mixed, and now I'm gonna fill up these containers. I hope this is enough. Now these containers, like I said, I got them off of Amazon. They have the drain holes already made in them. And what I like is that it has the water when you put water these plants, it drains into the bottom, and the bottom is, this is a passive self-watering system. Because me, your girl, even though she loves to grow, she's quite forgetful. And this self-watering system helps buy you time. So you can actually pour water into the bottom and it will wick up into the plant. The roots know what to do. The roots will just reach down there and get the water that they need, which is what I like about it. I think that's gonna be enough. Perfect. So I'm gonna rescue these big pretty ones that's really doing their thing from out of the Rubbermaid dish and put it into its own pot. So all you people, I ain't got no yard. Stop lying to yourself. A yard is not what you need. What you need is the desire to have control over your food. And that's me. I desire to not to eat processed, packaged, prepackaged stuff, and that be my primary diet. Americans have the worst diet of all the developed countries. And that's not a good look. And you young people want to talk crap about the elderly. Your diet is worse than ours ever was. So you better hope you make it to our age. That's for sure. Talking all that smack. Okay, so now I got these containers filled with good new soil. And now I'm going to put the stumps in there. I'm also going to keep the plant matter in there too, because these leaves that got rotted by the water will just decompose and be food for the stump. So you see, I'm putting it down there in the soil. I'm burying it, packing it in, and giving a good thorough watering. I'm going to put all these right back on the windowsill. Okay, and I'm also going to put a link in the description of this video. So if you're interested in these pots, these kind of pots, they're available on Amazon. Okay, that's one down. That's one down. There's 6 more to go. Okay, now you see how they got some good healthy roots, so I'm excited about that. So dig a hole, and yeah, you can see a whole bunch of new rosettes coming up. So this one is really ready to grow. thorough watering. So I'm really mainly trying to get these big ones out. Because see, I don't want it to end up rotting completely away. That's still healthy. It's still some healthy roots on there. But yeah, I did leave this one in there a little bit too long in the water. So I want y'all to see everything don't be going perfect. Sometimes mistakes do happen. Okay. Now I'm packing that in there. And give it a thorough watering from the top. That's 3 down. 3 more to go. 3 more to go. That one, and that one. And they are so gorgeous to me. Sit this down here. They are so gorgeous. Cabbage, red cabbage plant is a really beautiful plant. Okay, so I got 3 more to go. I'm digging the hole. Ooh, now that one is, now that's a perfect specimen. Now this is when you're supposed to remove them, when it look like that, and then plant them in the soil. So now, that one I did in time. I didn't wait too late. That one is perfect. And it's going to enjoy its new home, where it got plenty more room for the roots to grow. That's one more. So I don't want to hear you people that be telling me I got a black thumb, I can't grow indoors, I don't have no yard. All of that is excuses. And I'm telling you, you need to learn something about what I'm doing. Because we got a Trump in office who probably gonna get a second term, because so many of y'all is sleep on voting. And shoot, it's gonna get rough for a bunch of yous. So you people that's struggling already, the struggle gonna get so much more real. Now look at that one, it's so gorgeous. And look at the beautiful, beautiful roots that appear. And all I did was sit in the water. I did not do anything special. Just sat in the water. I'm gonna add some more soil to that one. Okay, now I'm gonna give it a thorough watering. And guess what? These can go back into my windowsill where they were all along. Okay? And these 3 that just getting started, they can continue to sit in the Tupperware. Until they root. I'm waiting for them to root. This one did sprout leaves, but it's no roots yet. Once it gets roots, that's when I'll plant it. That's when I'll plant it in the soil. So these gonna go back in the windowsill too. But these got new pots now. And they about to go on my windowsill right over there in the kitchen. And this one gonna go in my living room on the windowsill. So, this is absolute proof that you can take the stump of a cabbage plant and start a whole new plant. Okay, that's gonna go in my living room. Okay, now y'all see it? That's gonna go right here. And I love it. I love that self-watering system. Okay, that's it today for the plant life. I am done. I'm finna come out these gardening clothes and come back in this kitchen and cook me something. I'm hungry. Get my kitchen back cleaned back up so I can use it as a kitchen again. Okay, so that's it, y'all. I wanted to get that out the way. I gotta make me a new round to it. I'm sick of all the procrastinating I was doing and then end up messing up my hard work after I didn't work that hard to save the plant and get it going, to forget. Because I'm procrastinating because of something. And usually it's because I'm procrastinating so I could do this video and show y'all what I'm doing. So now, you've seen it. And now, I'm done. I'm going to come back on here cooking. My cook video is next. But I want to come about these clothes and clean up all this mess that I made with the plants in my kitchen. And when I'm done with that, I'll be back. Peace and love. I'll see you again in the next video. Good morning. Hey, Facebook, and hey, YouTube. What's good? What's good this morning? What's good with y'all? Okay, today